Hey guys, this is the Cinema Fanboys. This is Keenan,
Hey guys, it's Kenny.
and we're here to review almost a week or 2 weeks late now, Thor Ragnarok. But we kind of wanted to bring this up today so we can kind of discuss the film because me and Kenny, kind of just spoil our opinion here. We both enjoyed it very much, I think.
Yeah, so in case anyone's wondering, Keenan's leading tonight, so I'm letting him lead tonight instead of me. So he has more of the information regarding this film. But I watched it before him. But yeah, we both enjoyed it. But we're gonna go into that in a second. So go ahead, Keenan.
Yes, so Kenneth Branagh directed the first Thor in 2011. I'm pretty sure he did he's mostly known for like movies like Hamlet, a lot of Shakespearean films, like Shakespearean films. But the guy who's doing the third installment of this Thor franchise is a New Zealand director by the name of Taika Waititi. I hope I said that right. And his career has goes all the way back to 2002 with a short film called John and Pogo. I was actually like really impressed with that. I haven't seen any other stuff by him, but I feel like this movie could pretty much stand on its own. Like I just said, I really enjoyed it. There's 4 writing credits, a bunch of names you probably know, no big names here. The director of photography is, I think he's Spanish, Javier Aguirre. I probably said that shit wrong.
What's his name? Let me see. Hold on, I'll take a look at it because you don't fucking know how to say it.
Aguirre Sorable.
Stop! I'll fucking look at it. Don't mess with it anymore. I'll say it.
All right, go ahead. So anyway, you're gonna laugh at this, but he worked as DP on the Twilight series, and which kind of fucks with me because when I was watching this movie and I was like, I really like the cinematography.
Oh, shit. I can't even pronounce that last name. You know, and I'm Latino.
I think it's Aguirre
Sorabe. I don't know. It's fucking
Aguirre Sorable, I think.
But yeah.
Yeah, he was the cinematographer for the Twilight series. And most recent film he did was Blue Jasmine, which also stars Cate Blanchett, who was also starring in this movie as well.
Okay.
And he's a BAFTA winner. So I mean, that was one of the highlights for me, was the cinematography in this. The main lineup we have here for the actors, the stars, is we got Chris Hemsworth, Tom Hiddleston, Cate Blanchett, Idris Elba, Jeff Goldblum, Tessa Thompson. I wasn't sure who she was. Have you seen her in anything, Kenny?
She's been in a lot of, like, I'm not trying to be racist here, but sort of kind of no, I'm not being racist. What am I saying? She's been in a lot of kind of like black culture films. She's been in Creed. She was in Dear White People. She was in
Oh yeah.
She was in For Color.
I know her.
Selma. She had a role in she's been in like several different kind of like black culture kind of movies. She's also been in a few just random like low budget kind of thriller horror films, but for the most part, she hasn't done too much.
Yeah, well, this is my first. I thought she did a good job.
I think the most popular thing she was in was Veronica Mars, I believe.
Gotcha.
TV show, so supporting character.
I'm going to finish this list real quick. I know I don't want to just read things off, but kind of got to establish who's in it. And then we got Mark Ruffalo, Anthony Hopkins, and that's pretty much it. The director's in this as a character, like as a Blue Rock character named Cora.
Oh, he did the voice for the Blue Rock character.
Yeah, If you listen, because he has a New Zealand accent, that's pretty crazy. So, needless to say, this is kind of like an all-star cast here.
Mm-hmm.
I think I would put that as like one of the strengths. I think everyone does a pretty good job, and anyone or the other does a great job or a passable job for the most part. I was pretty pleased with everyone's performance. So I think we're going to start off this review. We're trying to get an organized format here. We're going to start with the negatives. Everything that we think was bad about the movie, that kind of drug it down a little. Kenny, do you have anything negative to say about this that you can think of off the top?
I can't think of anything, to be honest. I really enjoyed this film. The only thing I wish was that maybe was that Kate Blanchett as Hela would get more development, and I also wanted to see a little bit more adventure, because the middle of the movie are pretty much just stuck on that planet, with the Gladiator planet. But I understand that it's not Guardians of the Galaxy, so they can't go everywhere, but they can, given the material that since Thor is out in the cosmos. So but for what it was, I really enjoyed it. I like that it was.
You have to give your negatives, Kenny. I'm sorry. I'm trying to keep this organized. I know you say we're gonna get to the we're gonna do the positive afterwards. Like, let me say this. Okay, let me say this. What did you think about the character Scourge? You know Scourge?
What else, Scourge?
Because this kind of leads into one of my negatives. Like, what did you think about the character Scourge?
Who was Scourge?
You know the guy at the beginning. You know the beginning.
Oh,
the guy
the
the
guy who worked
Belfrost.
for Hela. The guy who worked for Hela.
Yeah, that guy. What did you think about his character?
He was kind of pointless.
Exactly.
Because
there, you took the words out of my mouth.
The whole thing, even with what happens to his character at the end, there was no point in it, because no one. It's like, because the majority of the cast didn't even know who the hell he was or that he existed. So it was just for the audience. Only the audience knew he existed. No one else fucking knew who he was. So, so him and the villain, which I liked her, but I want to see more of her and have her develop more.
Mm-hmm.
That's honestly the only big issues I had with the film.
Mm-hmm. Well, about Scourge's character, I liked him in the beginning. Like, I thought he was gonna be like a comic relief character and like a pivotal one at that. Like, he was gonna help Thor maybe, but because he's trying to use the Bifrost, to get some pussy from these girls. He's trying to like impress them and like show them all these weapons he got from these different worlds. And I thought that scene was funny, but other than that, like, I kind of didn't give a shit about his whole character arc, about him like being conflicted. I guess we can get into the plot here. I can't really talk about it that well without getting into the plot. But yeah, he has a whole character arc where, in order to survive, because Hela invades Asgard, she's Thor's older sister, and she's trying to take the throne of Asgard. And she invades Asgard, kills a bunch of people, and she takes Scourge under her wing, and he kind of complies, and he kind of turns against his whole society. I didn't find that interesting at all. I felt like you cut his character out completely.
Wait. What the fuck did you just say? What society?
Go ahead. Sorry, what did you not hear?
What did you just say? The what society?
His whole society.
Shit, man. It sounded like you said the Soul Society, but to say that's fucking Bleach, you dumb. I'm about to say. Okay, keep going. I'm hearing. Oh my God.
Yeah, but I feel like his whole character arc and his story could have been cut, and that kind of leads into one of my other negatives. I felt this movie was 30 minutes too long. I feel like
what? No. This movie was a fine length. It was not that. It was not 30 minutes too long. If anything, it needed a few more minutes.
I felt there was a lot of filler at the point. Like, I feel like it could have got cut down a little, especially if we got rid of his character. I feel like it would have been a nice, concise. You know what I mean? Yeah. But that's my opinion. Let me kind of go through these negatives. All right. So I don't have much negatives, so that's good. Although Kate Blanchett did really well, I love Kate Blanchett. I loved her in Blue Jasmine. She's been on like a lot of things, like Lord of the Rings. There's tons of stuff. So she's one of my favorite actresses working. But I feel like the villain itself was kind of not lame. One of the better Marvel villains, and that's saying a lot. But I feel like I was just kind of like disappointed. Like, I was expecting a lot from. It's not quite her performance. It's just the character itself. Like, I really wanted to see that wolf get used a lot more. You know what I'm saying? Like, she was obviously a force to be reckoned with, but I feel like the way she goes out and dies is so anticlimactic, and that kind of leads into one of my other negatives. I feel like, the whole thing, this is kind of like a combination of age story for Thor. Like, he gets his hammer destroyed, and he kind of has to build himself from the bottom. He goes from being like this really cocky dude that, that has everything under control, and is like, to getting knocked down and having to rise up again and relearn his powers. And he becomes more powerful, almost stronger than Odin. And Odin's the strongest character in the all Marvel universe, and he's supposed to be stronger than him.
Whoa, stop. I'm going to have to correct you there.
What are you going to correct me? I don't think I said anything.
He's not
wrong.
The strongest in the entire Marvel universe. You talking about the comics?
Odin?
Or the movie?
I'm talking about Odin.
No, but you're talking about the comics or the movie? You need to clarify that shit.
No, if you look up the stats for Odin, all in Marvel.com, all of his stats are
Don't
from.
give me that stat shit, man. Like,
Anyway,
there's things that would kill Odin.
he's supposed to be one of the strongest.
All right, whatever.
So anyway, like Thor basically gets to a point in the movie where he doesn't even need his hammer anymore, and he can do all that cool shit without his hammer and like summon lightning bolts. And I just wanted to see him be able to exhibit these newfound powers because he became more powerful throughout the movie, and like loses his eye and shit, and changes as a character. And I wanted to see that manifest itself in the final battle, but it's kind of disappointing how that ends. Kate Blanchett kind of goes out with a dud, you know what I'm saying? And I felt like we had all this build up, but the payoff was kind of minimal, you know? In terms of like, I wanted to see after him going through this hardship and struggle to like come out. But, you know, yeah, that's kind of one of the biggest things. Other than that, there's like dumb nitpicky shit like I didn't like. Like at the beginning of the movie, when the dragon gets its head cut off by the Bifrost closing on in it, like its blood is like all this weird color, like it's like a bunch. It's like a fucking kids movie, like it's fucking like blue and yellow and shit, and like all this. And when Hulk is bleeding underwater, when the wolf fights him, like his blood is green, and I'm like, are you serious? Like
the Hulk's blood's always been green.
Is it supposed to be like that then? Because you tell me, because I'm not a Marvel. I don't.
You know what? This is. Let me take over. You're infuriating me as a comic fan. I
haven't even said anything that wrong. You're acting like I said.
No,
like,
listen to me right
Batman
now.
was in this.
Those are really dumb complaints. The blood on the fucking dragon and Hulk. Do you understand that the whole tone of the movie is supposed to be making fun of itself?
I just said it was nitpicky shit. Nitpicky shit.
Quit. It's really annoying nitpicky shit because look. The Hulk, even in the old movie and some other incarnations, he's always had green blood. It's not fucking weird at all.
Well, I always felt they were just doing that because it was a PG-13 rating, but I didn't know it had any.
No. They've had blood in other Marvel movies. They've had fucking Coulson in Avengers get stabbed by fucking Loki from the back.
That's pretty much all my negatives. To be honest with you, other than that, like I have like a shit ton of positives about this movie. So, because I know I've been talking for a while, I want to you can kind of give me your positives now. I know you kind of touched on it a little bit, but kind of tell me what differentiates this Thor movie from the other ones.
What differentiates this Thor movie compared to the other ones is the fact that it doesn't take itself seriously like Thor: The Dark World did. Now, it's okay to do a serious story, but the issue with the second Thor film that really makes this film a lot better is the fact that like there was a villain that no one really gave a shit about. The threat didn't feel as large as it could have been. And there was also just useless characters like Natalie Portman, Jane Foster, which thankfully they finally got rid of in this fucking movie. And they're just focusing on Thor. The reason why this movie is probably the best one is because of the fact that it knows exactly what it is. It takes all the fun parts of Thor's character, of Hulk's character, and some special guest characters, and some of the fun from Guardians of the Galaxy. Because the thing with Thor is that Thor is already out living in space, and he's not necessarily. His society isn't magic; it's science. So he's already kind of sci-fi-ish. So what they did with this film was basically even the theme of the film and the music in it, and just like the style of it, and the advertising. It's all about like this '80s kind of like rock and roll psychedelic sort of adventure through space with a dude bro with long hair who gets it cut off, and he's basically it's a bro movie, and I think it works really well doing that. And Thor and Hulk have had fights in the comics. They're two of the strongest characters. So and they also included Planet Hulk into this movie as well, with the Hulk being on this gladiator planet, and so it's a really good combination of these awesome elements from both characters, along with a new twist. After seeing how well Guardians of the Galaxy did, and they figured, okay, well, Thor is gonna have to meet up with them eventually, which he will right before the start of Infinity War next year. So they had to build that up, and the only way to do that was to take it sort of that Guardians of the Galaxy route, which worked very well. And the audience had a fun time with it because people were bored with Thor: The Dark World. They thought Thor was boring in it. This just worked a lot better. You can totally do a serious story with the lore of Thor, but this movie was kind of like a reboot for Thor because of what happens, and so it just really helps with his character, and people like him more because honestly, Thor has only been working as a side character with the other Avengers. So he really needed this to really cement him as one of the better characters, and this probably made a lot of Thor fans happy. It made me happy to finally see him get some attention, because Robert Downey Jr. and Chris Evans, Iron Man, Captain America, they get all the attention. So it's good to see Hulk and Thor get their movie after being absent from Civil War. So that's honestly why I really enjoyed it, and I'm glad. I had fun with it. It made fun of things that it made fun of itself, which is I was happy with. So I had a really good time with it. Do you want me to give a score right now? Because I'm ready to give one right now.
Let's save that for the end.
All right. Well, let's hear your positives and let's give the scores. Let's not take too long.
Let me just start by saying this is probably, in my opinion, one of the best Marvel movies.
Yeah, it's in my top 5.
Yeah, definitely. I really enjoyed the hell out of this thing. Obviously, the best Thor movie there was. I wasn't really digging Thor as a character, like in terms of his own movies, like you said. Like he's kind of good as complimenting the Avengers, but this kind of like made him shine. I was really invested in the plot and like the lore of this world that was being created. I was actually pleased to see that Led Zeppelin "Immigrant Song" that was played in the trailer was actually in the movie.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm glad. So many movies do that shit. They'll play a song in the trailer and like I don't know.
I completely know what you're talking about. Yes.
Yeah. Also, did you catch? There's 2 movie references in this. Did you catch them?
I believe I did. But I did when I fucking saw it 2 weeks ago. So you're gonna have to refresh my memory because I did catch them. But you're gonna have to remind me because I'm blanking out.
The easiest one to find is like because Chris Hemsworth I can't fucking talk. Chris Hemsworth was in the Point Break movie last year, 2016 Point Break movie, yeah. And so when Bruce Banner's on the ship, he said what's the password for the ship, and he said Point Break.
Oh yeah.
The coolest one I saw, I'm not even sure if this is a reference, but it fucking has to be. Have you seen Schindler's List yet?
No.
Okay, in that movie, Ralph Fiennes' character and Liam Neeson are having a discussion. Ralph Fiennes is playing a Schutzstaffel officer, SS officer, and he's like killing off, people who are in prisons and the prison in the Holocaust and overseeing this. Mm-hmm. And then Liam Neeson gives character Oscar Schindler gives a whole talk about power and how emperor, there's a guy who begged someone who stole something, and emperor, parted in his life instead of executing him. And then Ralph Fiennes goes around the whole camp, like people he would normally kill in a heartbeat throughout the movie because he's a brutal character. Mm-hmm. He would like just like if like a boy fucks up something like cleaning up the bathroom, the kid is like, shit, I'm fucked, I'm gonna die. And then he looks at him and he's like, I pardon you, and holds up his 2 fingers and shit and touches him or something. Mm-hmm. So Jeff Goldblum's character, the Grand Master, when the dude was like in the wheelchair and he's like, I'm sorry, don't kill me or something like that, and he was like, I pardon you, and then he held up his hand the same way that Ralph Fiennes did in Schindler's List and killed the character.
Boy, ain't no one gonna get that.
Huh?
Ain't no one gonna get that reference.
People will, like, if they've seen Schindler's List, because that's immediately what I thought of when I saw that shit.
Okay, that'd be a few people. I just didn't give a shit.
I just thought that was a cool fucking reference.
The thing about it, though, is that it seems sort of familiar, but I might have seen a clip or something, but honestly, I didn't recognize it because I just haven't seen Schindler's List.
Well, it could be wrong. I haven't looked up the IMDb trivia for this, but it really stuck out to me. Like someone who, you know what I mean? Yeah. I guess you gotta, watch the big, yeah. But I just thought that was really cool. If that is a reference, like that really, that's pretty neat to me. The cinematography in this thing, while not like the best in the world, I really liked it. I liked a lot of there's some cool, interesting transitions in this movie, in terms of when they were like going to different scenes. So like for example, when Thor was going, I think they did this one transition where they kind of look where Thor was looking, like a POV shot, and it was like at the stars. And then I kind of like faded in back in. I thought that was really neat. And then when they were walking in to the Grandmasters, like talk to the Grandmaster, they had the camera aimed at the reflective floor, and you think you're looking at them, but then it pans up, and then it shows you actually looking at them. I thought that was pretty cool.
I do remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, that was, cool transitions. One of the things I really liked about in terms of cinematography was the slow down scenes. Like when there was like having flashbacks to like, you know, the Valkyries fighting Hela in the battle or like stuff like that. Like it was legit. Like I think they did this shit on purpose. It was like an old 1900s painting about Norse mythology, like that painting with the
Yeah,
rod
yeah.
of the Valkyries. Like
Mhm.
it was like a fucking painting. You know what I'm saying? And they probably did that shit on purpose to kind of um, pay homage to that art, to that era. Um, I already went over cinematography. There was interesting lore. I was really invested into this world. Like I just felt like I had a really deep backstory, even though they don't show much. And
Mhm.
I felt like there might have been like a whole like book about it, like some like a dense lore is like an Elder Scrolls game or some shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's something like has like a deep history that goes on for like thousands of years outside of like while you walking out of the theater, there's like a whole world that still exists there, regardless if you're looking at it or not. I kind of felt that with this movie.
Give
uh
it.
I'm getting to that, dude.
What do you
um
give it?
what am I like in the score? I guess. Okay,
Yeah.
fuck, you want
Score.
you want the score? I'll give you the score. I'll give this shit a 7 out of 10, dude. This movie is great. This movie is good.
I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and give it a 9.
Yeah, that's fair. um but did I felt like sometimes like it wouldn't get, it kind of had to give me a break, like it was too funny. Like I was laughing at one thing and then like something else will happen and I would like, wait, I didn't recover from the last one. But yeah,
Mhm.
this movie was pretty. I wouldn't see it again, but
What, or you wouldn't
definitely
see it again?
I wouldn't, but I don't think I would
Theaters,
see.
you mean?
Huh?
Like in theaters, you mean?
No, I just wouldn't see it again, period. I don't think.
Damn. Okay, shit. I would see it again. That shit's funny.
I mean, if it's on TV and I'm just walking by, yeah, I'd watch
Okay.
it.
All right.
But it was a good movie, man. Like definitely the top 5 best Marvel movies.
Well,
Um,
superhero movies aren't really your thing, so I can see why you wouldn't want to see it again. But yeah.
no, I mean it was cool. I liked it, man. I enjoyed every second. Like I'm really glad. I would pay full price for this. Go see it in theaters. It's a really great family movie too.
Mm.
Depends how old your kids are. I mean, there might be
Yeah,
some
there's a
destruction
few
scenes.
there's a few jokes in there. So
Yeah, you got go see it. I mean, probably sure most you have. Yeah, but that's pretty much wraps up all my thoughts.
yeah.
Uh, so guys, stay posted. We should be doing a review pretty soon on Murder on the Orient Express. We saw that in succession to this movie, basically. So, all right. Any final closing thoughts, Kenny?
Nope. Just if you haven't seen Thor and you like Marvel movies, go watch it. You don't have to watch the last two. They pretty much just reference things. Do watch Doctor Strange though if you want to. There's a cool
Yeah, he's
little
in
thing in
this.
there.
He's in this. I already mentioned Benedict Cumberbatch, but he makes an appearance.
Oh, well, whatever. Well, there you go. Okay, well, yeah, that's pretty much it. So that's my review as well. So 9.
Peace, y'all.
Okay, see you guys.